What's up guys? This episode we're still in eastern Thailand chasing down some awesome lifers. This episode perhaps contains the greatest number of finds ever in a DAVIDSFEED episode, as well as some unexpected naked crate handling. Anyway, enjoy the video. Alright, so we've just encountered a split in the river. It's split off in about 3 different ways and we're each taking one way. So yeah, I'm heading up this little river here on my own. And hopefully, if the camera will focus, we're gonna start finding stuff soon. Our main target for this area is the hebius that occurs here, which is like a montane water keelback thing. But there's a whole lot of stuff that could potentially be found here. Anyway, this habitat looks really good, so I'm sure it won't be too long before we turn something up. Alright, so we just got this little juvenile Indo-Chinese water dragon. Which is just a baby of what we caught yesterday. Nice banding on them as juveniles. Hopefully we can find a large adult male. But yeah, pretty neat. Alright, so it's the second night. We're trying a slightly different trail. And first snake, not very unexpected. We're following a stream here is another Malayan krait. This one's actually quite small. I would say a sub-adult. If it's a male, possibly it's already mature. I can try and check, but I'm not the... Yeah, that's a male, so I would guess this one's probably already mature, but anyway, you don't often find small kraits like this. We found probably close to 30 kraits this year, and we only found one other juvenile, so, I mean, this one isn't a juvenile, but this is definitely the second smallest one we've seen this year. Yeah, very nice. They're usually a bit more twitchy and unpredictable at this size, but this one's actually not too bad at all. We're just gonna let him go and keep on herping. Ooh, twitchy. Just let him cruise off here. And he's going in our bags, great. Come on, go this way. Alright, let's go. We just met up with Harry and the others again, and right on here we got another, oh this one's more pinkish, another Lycodon cardamomensis. Alright, we will do a quick grab here before he escapes. Oh yeah, this one is, yeah it is like the same size, but somehow more red.
Yeah, it's way redder.
Yeah, this one's definitely prettier. Very nice. Ooh.
Spot.
I wonder what these guys eat. Probably just like skinks and lizards and frogs and snakes. What a nice snake. I've just spotted our third Cardamom Mountains wolf snake. Just over here. This one's actually the smallest one of the lot we've seen. Also very nice and red. Ooh, very bitey. Anyway, I'm on my own, so I'm just gonna turn off the camera, bag it for the others to see, and I'll probably get some more video with it later. Alright, so we just got a very unexpected snake. Keith actually found it while he was downriver. This is the Indo-Chinese rat snake, a very common species in like agriculture and stuff, but we're high up a mountain on a forest stream. So, definitely not the type of snake you would expect to find in this habitat. But it is Thais Karos after all, one of the most common snakes throughout Thailand. The Indo-Chinese rat snake. Yeah. He's missing the tip of his tail here a little bit. But this is a medium-sized adult. I've seen them a lot bigger than this, but also a lot smaller. Diurnal species, which is a very visual hunter. You can see they have those really large eyes. Yeah, nice little snake. Always good to see these. Alright, I'm just hearing cheering and shouting from across the river, and it looks like Rupert got the really rare endemic hebius. As of lately, we've literally been getting like our target species every single trip, which is absolutely insane to me. How do I get to you? Hey! That is big. How do I get to you?
I don't know, I'll probably come to you.
Alright, there's like a good area over here to look at it. Alright, show off this little gem.
Look at this.
There you have it, guys. The Hebius we were after. Well, Rupert was saying it might not even be because it's very large and looks different from what we've been seeing on photos.
Yeah, really different. I've never seen one with this much like yellow on it. I mean, maybe all the photos I've seen of this pretty uncommon species are like young ones, but
yeah, a lot of the time like
huge.
Large adults will look slightly different. That is very awesome though. Alright, so after a couple photos and online confirmation, this is indeed Bullinger's mountain keelback, Hebius bullingeri, so main target for the area ticked off. So they will usually live along these small pools as can be seen behind me. And yeah, they're a small, non-venomous snake and they're actually quite sensitive. These usually do not do well in captivity at all. But yeah, and they generally do not bite, very shy, and when they're threatened they will just tuck their head under their body. But yeah, and it's got this very nice white venter with these little black spots along the sides. Very nice, and this is a really large example of the species. Awesome, I'm just gonna let him swim back off. Alright, this is the exact pool that we found him in, just off from the main river over there. Yeah, let's see how good this guy swims. Oh, and he's just hiding up in all of this fallen stuff along here. Let's be... oh, there he goes. Anyway, we are about to begin our 2-hour hike back down the mountain. Hopefully we don't run into any elephants. There's been a lot of elephant poo all along this street. Alright guys, just have a look at this habitat. It's literally full of like massive boulders. And even for us it's quite tricky to traverse sometimes. But look what we've got here. Nice pile of elephant poo. Really cool how when it lays for a while these mushrooms start growing from it. This was a big elephant. I mean that is very decent. Alright guys, check this out. We just got the first retic of the trip. He's sitting in ambush right here. On the left there's this little drainage ditch. And he's just sitting there facing towards the drainage ditch on the left. Probably waiting for a small mouse or mammal to come by. I'm gonna see if I can get down here behind him. Pretty good size actually, and I think he was sitting here even during the heavy rains that we had today. Because if you look down on his body there, he's actually covered in mud, which really looks like he was just sitting here and allowed himself to get like fully washed with mud. It's quite perfect the way he's sitting there, so I think there's probably no need for us to even disturb him. Please don't strike at my face, sir. Looks like he may be nearing a shed too. You can see the skin around here is looking quite leathery. Wonder how long he is. The head is a pretty good size. I think he's probably about 3 meters.
Yeah. The way that like all this dirt is over him, he really has been like here all day. He's not trapped, is he?
No, I don't think so.
You see the tail?
No, the tail is like down.
Oh no, it's all coiled under this stuff here.
Yeah, I was entertaining the possibility that it's like sitting on eggs.
But the way it was sitting looked like it was just waiting in ambush with its head towards the culvert.
Should I just carefully poke it and see what it does?
I think it should be all good.
Yeah, just leave it.
If it's like, we'll see it on the way down.
Yeah. Alright, well, first retake. Let's go. Alright, so here's a species we've shown many times on the channel, but it's also a first. Because, let me get him out. It is a Hetula prasina, the oriental vine snake, which you've seen hundreds of times in our videos, but never a gray one. And here in eastern Thailand, this is actually the most common color that they come in as adults. In the south, they're always green, but here in the east, they're this silvery gray. And this one's actually got a bit of brown to it as well.
A lot of brown, actually.
Really
That's crazy,
interesting. And this is actually the first time that I've ever found an adult prasina that wasn't green. So, very cool to see this.
Yep, first for me too.
Harold, is there defensive color in between the things when they flare up still blue?
No.
Huh.
It's black and white.
Well, that's cool.
Alright. Alright, so we just got back to the bottom of the hill, and Harry was still in the forest taking photos for ages, so we were really hot from walking. We took our shirts off and we just started like goofing around. I've managed to build a fire right there, just to kill some time. And now Harry just got back, and oh, I ruined it. I got it in frame before I wanted to. Anyway, while we were here just sitting around, literally on the floor here, a Malayan krait showed up that just slithered in from the forest over there. He wanted to be part of our stupidness. And what's interesting is this one has a lot more black. If you look how wide the black segments of the bands are compared to the white ones, usually it's quite even, like 50-50, but this one has much wider black bands than white bands.
This video is going to get
out of the smoke.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's following us. Why does smoke always follow people?
This video is going to get flagged for nudity anyway.
Anyway, we've already seen plenty of these this trip, so we're just going to let him cruise on off next to this little building where we're at.
You're doing some acrobatics with your hand, man.
Yeah.
Alright.
Alright, we just got about a 4-hour drive behind us. We've moved to a different area yet again. We're now in an area called Krait Biosphere Reserve. There's a lot of actually like reptile-related research going on here. But yeah, we're about to head out, just waiting for the others who are still inside, getting ready. Alright, so we're currently cruising out to the spot we're going to be walking tonight, and hopefully we're going to find a snake on the road on the way there. But I kind of feel like we won't. Anyway, we're hoping for Oligodon pseudotenuatus in this area, which would be a lifer for all of us but Harry. But yeah, let's just see what we can find. Alright, we have got... Oh, my light just fell. We have got a snake, and it is probably like the smallest macrops I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Another species for the trip, which we haven't filmed yet, is bite? No, it's not bite. Put that boss on the ground. Alright, so we got the little sir on a stick where he is much less flighty. Anyway, when these guys are small, they're usually quite unlikely to bite. Macrops in general is usually quite unlikely to bite, but even at this size, a bite really wouldn't be bad at all. I mean, even adult macrops, species I've been bit by before, large female, wasn't all that bad, so a bite from one of these guys is still hemotoxic just like the adults, but they just have such a way smaller venom yield that a bite from this would probably be like a swollen finger / hand for about 2 or 3 days, but that's pretty much all you could expect. Alright, we got our little macrops here. I'm just gonna bring him to the side of the road and put him on some vegetation.
Do you want to drive up and down the road while I take a picture? Yeah.
Goodbye, sir. There we go, and you can see by that little white stripe on the right of the eye that this is a male. Females would just have a completely fade from white to green rather than that clear white line defining it. Very cute. Anyway, back to cruising. Alright, got the next snake, and this one is Boiga multimaculata, the many-spotted cat snake, which is actually the smallest species of all cat snakes that you get in Thailand. And the ones in this area look quite a bit different than the ones I'm used to seeing where I normally herp. The difference being that the spots on these are much larger and there's somehow fewer of them, and they're more in line with each other. Around our house, the spots are really random, whereas here the spots are all sort of like in a row, which is pretty neat, honestly. We get a close-up of his head there. As all Boiga, these are rear-fanged and mildly venomous, but can be considered harmless to humans. Yeah, this is not a very large one, but definitely an adult already. And these are often killed around here because they're mistaken for, well, not just around here, but everywhere they occur, because they're mistaken for Russell's vipers. And the pattern is actually quite similar, but of course, this being a Boiga has a much more elongated, slender body, whereas Russell's vipers are really short and fat. These are arboreal and terrestrial, Although I've quite often found them on the ground actually, especially crossing roads. Very nice. Alright, barely just started driving again. What happened to it? Don't touch it yet.
It was literally escaping. It was cold.
Alright. Next snake is Oligodon fasciolatus, my least favorite snake in Thailand. No, this one's actually also quite pretty looking. These are harmless, but they are specially adapted to eating, well, they eat pretty much anything. They'll eat reptile eggs, which they actually have large teeth to slice open, hence the common name kukri snake after the kukri knife. But what was recently also found out about these is that they actually eat organs of toxic toads. Because they can't eat the entire toad, obviously because they're toxic, but the organs aren't toxic. So what they'll do is they'll actually just use the teeth to like slice open the stomach of the toad. They'll stick their entire head inside and eat the organs and then leave the rest. And for a snake this small, they have an incredibly painful bite, and they also have anticoagulants in their saliva, so it will bleed quite a lot, but overall still not dangerous. This is a highly variable species, coming anywhere from like dark gray with almost no pattern to this pattern, or even bright red-orange. Off you go. Alright, yet another snake, and due to me always having to turn on my camera, I'm always the last one out of the car. But it is another neonate macrops. These things are out and about today. Ooh. This one is a little bit wary. Get off the road. Alright, next snake, and it is a very nice one. Boiga This is probably the largest Boiga siamensis I think I've ever seen. Ooh. And she is defensive. That thing's got to be close to like 1.8 meters. Look at the size of that. Anyway, this is one of the other 3 Boiga that occur in this area, and I think this is one we've never shown on the channel. This is the gray cat snake, which is found in a lot of the drier areas of Thailand. This is actually a...
Wait, I couldn't even fit that in screen there.
Yeah, it's actually a quite big snake. Definitely the largest Boiga siamensis I've ever seen, by a lot.
These guys are super docile though.
But yeah, never saw it in any of the adults.
Alright, I'm done with it.
Alright.
Alright!
I knew it! I f***ing knew it the second I saw that on the road!
Target acquired!
Let's go! Oh my!
Oligodon pseudotaeniatus, which somehow looks exactly like taeniatus.
Looks exactly like taeniatus and mohotai, like...
Yep.
I guess they call it pseudotaeniatus for a reason.
Ah.
So you saw on the
taeniatus?
Oh yeah, they got
really strong stripes.
Yeah.
Really strong stripes on the side, yeah.
And on the top, yeah.
Dude, I knew the second I saw it, I knew that was taeniatus complex crossing the road. I've seen that too many times. Oh my god, I'm so hyped. Let's go, bro. If we get Chinade tomorrow, man, this will actually be the goat trip. The goat trip of all time. Well, the snake kind of sucks, I'm not gonna lie.
Wait.
They love to bite.
And that's what the revenge it gets on me for me saying that. It bites the crap out of me. It's like mohotai and taeniatus, but less nice.
Yeah.
Not really an exciting snake, but just another lifer to tick off the list in our never-ending quest to find every snake. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have some.
And
one.
he is...
Jesse will certainly have some.
You can see I've really started bleeding from these 2 bites, although
Where?
it didn't, like here. I've kind of wiped the blood now, but this one it didn't get a good hold on me. But still, these kukris all have some kind of anticoagulant in their saliva.
Which is why I earlier said they're my least favorite snakes.
They're awesome.
Or as Brian Fry would say, they're venom.
So now we're heading up this dirt road to a hopefully better area where we're going to give it one more shot for tonight. Alright, so first snake of walk. F off, Harry. First snake we walked is this female question mark? I'm not actually sure from this one. Yeah, I know, I got that much. I said I'm not sure if it's a male or a female, but I would guess it's a female, possibly. Anyway, I'm guessing we're gonna see many more of these tonight.
What's on its head?
It's got like mud or something. Yeah, it's just dried mud on its head. Anyway, I'm guessing we're gonna see a lot more of these, so we're not gonna waste any time. Just gonna leave him be. Anyway, Harry's got something over here, and they are bird poo. No, I'm kidding. These are called bird poo frogs because they look, stop moving, they look a bit like bird poo. Maybe not so much in his hand, but when they're on a leaf next to actual bird poo, they look very convincing. These are
my ass.
These are only juveniles. You found them in here, yeah?
Yeah, there's loads more in there.
There's a lot of you there.
Do they have biting my ass?
Something's biting Harry's ass. They have like red markings on their legs. I didn't notice that a moment ago. Pretty neat. Kind of makes me want to get out my camera and take some photos of them next to some actual bird poo. But I really can't be bothered right now. Alright, so we were just walking around and have a look what we found. I saw these things and I was wondering, like, why are there bottles like this? It almost reminded me of like water bottles from when I was breeding rodents back home. So I decided to have a look inside one of them. And it turns out this is actually a bamboo rat farm. They're literally, we've got some juveniles there, huge adult, and yeah, so this here is just a whole bunch of rodent breeding. Look at the size of these things. They're absolutely massive. Strange. Alright, so here we've got a massive cockroach, which is somehow eating some kind of secretion coming out of the back of this leaf hopper. How bizarre. Alright guys, check this out. Here's another common species we've already seen tonight, but this one is just so much more beautiful. Look in here. This is a banded kukri snake, Oligodon fasciolatus. But it is a red morph. As I mentioned earlier, I believe, these come in very many different colors, and this one is one of the prettier ones I've seen. Sometimes, I've never actually seen this red morph with such intense patterning before. I've seen the red morph before, but completely patternless. So seeing this is actually quite nice, and as I've mentioned, these do bite, and it really hurts, so I'm gonna try my best to avoid it, but it is, of course, harmless, so there's no real danger here. But I would like to avoid it, especially since I've already procured too many injuries today. You can see how swollen my right thumb is, and that is from a bee sting. I've got another bee sting somewhere else. But yeah, beautiful. Ooh, almost bit me there. Beautiful little banded kukri snake. The red morph is actually quite uncommon compared to most other ones that you see, so definitely a neat little find. I think this is going to be the last snake for tonight. I'm really tired, and I'm probably going to head off to bed in a moment, but we will continue tomorrow.
We do it.